nothing to see here, nothing going on at the border. Now, for reasonable people who do news and opinion, and having thousands of people, tens of thousands of people a day come across a border that's been rendered essentially meaningless by horrible liberal policies and bad Republican policies too, who are horrible on immigration, is obviously chaos. Because in a chaos versus law and order campaign, I can't think of one in modern American history where law and order didn't win out.
Absolutely. And we will note Jay Johnson will be on Neil Cavuto's program just after Fox and Friends this morning, so don't miss that. Cavuto Live. The president, though, yesterday came out and doubled down on the argument you're making, saying if Mexico won't take care of it and they won't build that wall, we're going to close that border. Listen. You see what's happening to women, you see what's happening to children. It's a horrible situation, and Mexico could stop it right at their southern border. They have a southern border, and they have a border that could be very well structured. It's very easy for them to stop people from coming up, and they don't choose to do it. Well, we're not going to give them hundreds of millions of dollars and tell them that they're not going to use their strong immigration laws to help the United States. So there's a very good likelihood that they'll be closing the border next week, and that'll be just fine with me. Is this a negotiating tactic? Could he close the border? Should he?
Yeah, I mean, he did. He closed it for 3 hours months ago when we had another chaotic episode at the border. Pete, listen, we can't have Mexico creating a superhighway, basically from Central American countries right to the United States.
That's pretty simple accounting. You know, music science.
We don't have a country. This is just common sense. One more thing on this, too. Democrats are always hypocrites, right? They say, oh, we believe in science.
So, good morning. Welcome to the Laghu. I'm Dog. Hi. I'm using his body. Apparently, I could be. I don't know. It's not provable. No science. Use your imagination.
Well, Dan, we're going to shift over to the full report because the full report is on the way. The AG saying that mid-April he will provide the redacted report, and Democrats coming out and saying, you know what, this isn't good enough. Right from the get-go, saying their April 2nd deadline needs to be met. You have Representative Nadler saying that deadline still stands. Adam Schiff, that deadline stands. And you have a tweet from President Trump I want to get your reaction to, where he says the problem is no matter what the radical left Democrats get, no matter what we give them, it will never be enough. Just once we will harass and complain and resist the theme of their movement. So maybe we should just take our victory and say, no, we've got a country.
I've seen a lot of stories about dogs. Well, not my dog, but bad, so to speak, about his friends.
I encourage everyone to go back and read that slimy Adam Schiff memo he put out after Devin
Nunes. That's not the dog I'm talking about.
From, was it about a year ago? Read that
no, when it comes to dog observation, you can usually tell by the sexual nature it sustains itself towards the object. And I simply state object. Well, is this National Geographic? Oh, I'm sorry, I thought it was
And the real question now that Trump has been completely entirely...
So today on the Laghu N Dog...
Dog stopping there. Nope. Is when exactly did Bob Mueller know that there was no collusion?
The government relies on me for help.
A sequel to my book now, and I can tell you, I'm almost positive Bob Mueller knew collusion was a fairy tale, an Aesop's fable, in about June of 2017, by the latest, by July of 2017. I didn't get those dates wrong. So now you need to ask yourself, and there's a lot of evidence for this, guys. I don't write books and make stuff up. We footnote everything to death. What the heck was Bob Mueller doing for 600 plus days if he wasn't
government code or something? Is there government code or something?
That's what they were born to do. They were born to lie. Remember Beto said he was born to run? Schiff was born to lie.
Meanwhile, another prominent Democrat,
we're trying to tell you where we're at.
Interesting, because she's had this Green New Deal. They brought it up for a vote in the Senate. She said, "Oh, don't do that when you."
All right.
Couldn't get a single.
So today on the Laghu,
gets shut down. Mitch McConnell's maneuver sort of embarrasses her. So she does this town hall on MSNBC last night and actually compares climate change to 9/11. Watch.
In my brain, I'm trying to get around
it. On the events of September 11, 2001, thousands of Americans died in the largest terrorist attack on U.S. soil. And our national response,
one more time,
whether we agree with it or not, our national response was to go to war in one, then eventually two countries. 3,000 Americans died in Puerto Rico,
A
in the aftermath of Hurricane Maria. Where is our response?
They
respond and they say, oh, it's going to cost, you know, $1 bazillion. Like they sound like Dr. Evil, like $100 million. It is next level. I didn't expect them to make total fools of themselves.
Corey, give me an answer.
Dan, how do you respond? And they clap.
We live on a planet.
You know, there's really two takeaways from this. The first one, you know, because it's Saturday morning, I don't want to leave you all on a somber note, but I remember 9/11. Our office with the Secret Service was in 7 World Trade Center. I was not there that day. I was in our Long Island office. But I remember sitting there at a round table in John F. Kennedy Airport at midnight after these attacks had happened, crossing off names for agents who we thought were dead. You know, one of them wasn't dead.
We're not alone.
But one of them was dead. It was a guy by the name of Craig Miller. It was the last name standing there. I remember everybody sitting there saying, what are we going to do? We couldn't find him. And everybody had to call headquarters to call his parents. To make a comparison between that moment that sticks out in my head, I'm sure Ed, Jen, you can as well. That sticks out as a unique horror in our history. And to make a comparison to your ridiculous Green New Deal that even your own people laughed at you about, and for everybody to gleefully clap in the audience as you make Austin Powers jokes. Listen, I have been on this network and I've been very gracious to Ms. Ocasio-Cortez. I ran for Congress and lost. She won. Congratulations, and I mean that. But this is disgraceful. You owe the country an apology, and those are shameful, ridiculous comments. You as a member of Congress should know better. That is a unique horror in our history. You don't use it to talk about your crappy Green New Deal that even your own people didn't support.
Of course, but isn't it a perfect reflection of the left today, the religion of climate change? They'll talk about that, but they won't.
So as I said in the scripture, we're going to paint you a picture of what your reality is. Structured like
Pete, you're right. The left is totally embedded in a faith-based system based in the emotion of liberalism. It's all believe us. We'll do it. I mean, look at her comments at the end. That was actually my second point. Just quick. She goes, oh, it's going to cost like $1 bazillion. No, Miss Cortez, people work for a living. Things have value that cost stuff, that people's hands have to produce. That's how they pay their taxes, because they work and they create income and they create value and they get dirt under their fingernails. It's not $1 bazillion. It's the dollar that Joe from Wisconsin, who has to farm all day, has to earn to give you to laugh about. It's not a joke. It's not an Austin Powers movie. This is the real world, and she doesn't live in it.
Yeah. We gotta leave it here, Dan, but that applause will always make me nervous that there is anyone on earth that is applauding that comment. Is gonna twist me a little bit, but thanks so much for your input. Appreciate it. We're gonna turn to some headlines for you this morning. Tributes pouring in for a young police officer killed in an apparently racially motivated attack in Chicago. 23-year-old John Rivera was laid to rest yesterday. Police say 2 suspects fired into a vehicle Rivera was in. They say the men were looking to shoot Latinos after getting into a fight with a different group of Hispanic men. The suspects are charged with murder. Josie Smollett skips the NAACP Image Awards dinner as top prosecutor. So NAACP, guys? Okay, just making sure. As top prosecutor Kim Fox explains why her office dropped 16 criminal charges against the actor. Fox writes in a new op-ed, prosecutors are required to balance the severity of the crime against the likelihood of securing a conviction. My office believed the likelihood of securing a conviction was not certain. Smollett is accused of faking a hate crime against himself. Police are forced to kick down the door of an Arizona home after parents refuse to take their sick and unvaccinated 2-year-old to the hospital. The parents would not answer the door even after police knocked 3 times. The 2-year-old had a dangerously high fever. The parents are charged with child abuse. California Highway Patrol finds $120,000.
Oh, my phone! This is the tribunal required.
A trooper pulled the car over for having illegally tinted windows when they noticed the driver acting strangely. The driver is now behind bars facing drug charges.
I mean, I hope they put it because he had cocaine in cereal boxes.
Wow.
I thought they put it in. I hope they put it in cocoa.
to arrange certain certifications on a place where you stay. You want the patterns to pick up with the glue and make arrangements to say. Right now it's certifying clean of work, fine enough for clinical point reception of that poke through time. When you get your poke through time, you wanna repeat the hold the rhythm in. Let frequencies wrap around the mind. Accumulate in time. Develop a place inside where time don't find no mind. Heart music. I can't do that again. Fuck.
What's in a vinyl window frame? Not much. Vinyl frames bend, warp, and won't last 5 years. Magic windows have multiple layers of heavy-duty fiberglass. You know, the stuff they use to build boats, bridges, that stuff. Right now, get a house full of windows for as low as $129 a month and no interest for 2 years. Call today at 888-77-MAGIC.
Listen.
I'm Dr. Mitch Hollander, Chief Executive Officer of the Michigan Institute of Urology. Many people are reluctant to see a doctor. This is particularly worrisome, especially when it comes to the health of one's urinary tract and reproductive organs. There are many urological conditions, including several types of cancer, that can be treated through early diagnosis. You're in more control than you think. No excuses. Make an appointment today. Take control of your health. One focus, one mission, one name. Michigan Institute of Urology.
A lot of car companies are making SUVs, but only one makes the most awarded,
Bring stuff in from that
the best-selling,
third dimension,
and the icon. Motor Trend's
I'm changing
2019
my
SUV of the year.
to that dimension, to the front dimension.
Celebrate Jeep Freedom Days with no payments for 90 days and $500 additional bonus cash on our best-selling legendary Jeep SUVs.
Or a well-qualified returning employee lessees get a low-mileage lease on a 2019 Jeep Compass for $189 a month.
That I received from my memory.
There's a place where speed bumps don't exist, and donuts are served fresh every morning. Welcome to Muscleville.
Could just
Dodge Owners Paradise. The only dating is speed dating. The mayor is
I
this
connected
guy,
in my reality.
and the town square is a straightaway.
Drive like a psycho.
Where every day is a performance day.
Like that
Well-qualified lessees get a low-mileage lease on one of these 2019 Dodge
So,
vehicles
I
for
only got a few
$399
minutes
a
for
month.
I tried to
This is not one of those crossover pretender SUVs. This SUV
So,
has best in
here we
class
go.
weather
From what I've
capability
gathered,
and up to 31 miles
at
per
the
gallon
time,
highway.
well, that makes sense.
The name
Good weight,
earned
I don't
3
know.
miles of
What we want to do is we want to try
This
to
is the legendary Jeep Cherokee. Celebrate Jeep Freedom Days with no payments for 90 days and $500
We want to try to
additional bonus cash
fetishize.
on our
What I've done
best-selling
in my reality is taken away the fact that fetishize into like from a macro to a micro, where it's, you know, it's a symbolic nature lining up to other processes in time. Where currently the prophetic process is demonstrated in only religion, and then you grab a psychic, and then you fucking work with a psychic. Like I'm trying to make the molecule a game, so it's macro out in the religion and psychic world of tarot cards. I'm trying to take it down to the micro world of symbology and use it every day of my life. Propheticizing, so playing with music. So here goes a beat.
Your favorite shows on Channel 114, plus every story, every 15 minutes. Fox News headlines 24/7, Channel 114.
My daily event. But yeah, so I like to play games. I mean, basically, what you do is you take all this macro shit of religion and philosophy and you back it down and you make it like a playground. You just tell these ways that tell you can't do this, you can't do that, you can't do this, you can't do that. They're like coming out from the micro into the macro, holding the macro out. Technically, the macro could be secondary too. You know, the macro can give its life to the micro. Basically, that's what we're saying. So you pull it in, and then you have like a total arrangement of just like speed and precision You're bound to prophetic processes through your music and your dancing. While you're dancing, you're like grabbing beats with your arm and swinging around.
Reading last night, Miss Flores, you know, kind of almost, you know, self-coming out was uncomfortable to read. I mean, as a man, as a woman, in this moment, it was uncomfortable. I'm glad that the Vice President's communications team put something out right away. But this whole situation feels uncomfortable. I think we have both sides that made comments. You know, I don't know, you know, where the next steps go.
So I just want to be fair to the former Vice President.
So we're on this planet and it's magical.
Put out a statement. I want to
What's magical about it is it's very powerful
he
thing.
doesn't remember it. He says neither then nor
Belonging.
the year since.
You came in
The staff with him at the time have an inkling that Ms. Flores had been at any time uncomfortable, nor do they recall what she describes. But Vice President Biden believes that Ms. Flores has every right to share her own recollection and reflections, and it is a change for better society that she has the opportunity to do so.
No, this is what I believe is happening. I'm going to tell you what I believe.
Not really covering
From my heart. If I speak from my heart, showing the music from my heart, and it sounds amazing sense. This will sound to make sense just the same way. See, it's a little flipped out of the truth of what I'm about to speak. So, something from my heart, I'm going to speak from the same place, from traumatic diagnosis, primal gnosis. Could be the 6 6 factor, which could just be the center of heart, possibly. Why would heart have 6 cradles?
You know, whether it was this week, I know we're going to mention what he commented about Nita Hill, or what he may have to comment about the Iraq War.
The primal gnosis. Where am I going? Get back there.
But you said
Where was I
going?
going?
Getting in, or will all of this?
So, speaking from my heart.
2014, you're right, there's a lot of votes and other things that may come up.
Testing heart.
Why did you just say, I don't want to get in?
I've spoken to him recently.
We only got 3 more minutes. So, you're on a plane.
Part of this campaign.
It comes to the ancients. Tries to embed themselves into the ancients. Tries to trick them into giving the plane to him. Sure, why not? It was easier than you thought. You picked his eyes. Maybe a little bit gifted. Because, technically, you're supposed to be here. So, as hard as you try to get into the planet, from the alien's perspective, to implant humanity, the ancients would have given you the planet somehow if you would have used your words right. You didn't have to go to war, you didn't have to fight them, you didn't have to trick them, you didn't have to slave them, you didn't have to do nothing there. All that shit is useless, that's my way. I proved it, my reality. If you would have come to the planet and just simply said, can we, may we want, a need is necessary even, because I believe they feel the need basically inside. So, if you would come to this planet instead of tricking them and giving it to you, you would have had it. So all that weight and money you put into tricking them is now mine. See, my camera just twitched. Yeah. Symbolism, scientific symbolism, that kind of science is relevant in my space. Something else caught it. I can use a harder weight and make out a bank for me, and I can store files in their system. See, twitch again. So, I'm speaking from my heart. I keep finding myself tracking to protect myself. But what I'm saying, alright, so there is a defense mechanism. Yes, yeah, I'm catching it in my face. But what I'm saying is, all that weight was mine. So back to the ancients. The ancients were here on the planet were things that were born with the planet. This could be monkeys. Monkeys could be ancient. You understand? The ancients simply could be engaged. That's fucking weird. I'm not getting it. I'm not getting it. Dogs, they're not. But, so this race comes and plants humanity as a corporate platform to make financial gain. Even through war. So as something is here in its name, developing a contemplatum for itself through religion. And I only know about Christianity for one. I think that's the sacrificial one, basically, for the planet. So we're always going to use Christianity for the alien stuff. We're not going to use any other religion for the alien stuff. All the other religions are for constructive purposes to build weight in your space. So you're going to find yourself talking about them in a positive way where they construct the duratum of your time positively. We're in a positive input, prosperity of gifting, and we're turning the planet into one large gift. Even though we nuclear radioactive. Which pisses me off, because she's actually a beautiful gift for the time critter. And the time critter is a beautiful gift for her mom. Because it's a heart stuff. But so they come here, and that's how simple it would be, because technically all these aliens are coming home. You call them home. There's a home signal, so they would have just come in. Everybody here that fought here to get here, you could have just come in. Even the hacker guy that I'm talking about that tried. There was a guy here. I'm gonna give him away because it's me. So trust me. There's a guy here. There's a group here. A guy here of aliens that they sneak into these machines and try to take them down. I'm one of those guys. I found myself here, and I held my energy back and learned who I was and used it manipulatively to just find the mapping for the machine so I could sell it. The government, if they believe it. But I'm trying to build proof in boundaries that exist in my reality all the fucking time because they got machines from aliens to help modulate the control over the planet because they were losing control over the planet. So they tried developing a relationship through the powers of the government and pinning a line through the government and controlling the government. So their weight is all the way down to the pinnacle aspect of police. So whenever you're dealing with authority, there's always that weight of aliens dominating them. Most of the time, their civilian ship keeps them from penetrating reality too deep. And then their authority doesn't have any mechanisms to keep them protected from aliens. They need one, put in one now. So now they have a layer that protects them. I put my energy there so it works. They have a layer that protects them from civilian ship. They have a layer in their periodic initiation that I can put in from the history of the planet, because I can use the name from the past. I won't use it though, because it doesn't matter. I'm doing the name. So there's a name from the past in there, you can pull it out, you can use it, you can work with it in program. It'll keep you from recognizing the alien's agenda. You will be lighter, you will be neater, you will be better, things will start happening, watch the news.
In a second story, Bloomberg reports that Dick's
in the government's agenda, there's other authorities of rational interception from alien agendas which we don't want to relate or discern. So again, this agenda that we're speaking of is Christianity, Christ, Bible. We're going to look into it, just pick a page, grab something, open it up, close your eyes, highlight the word in your mind, and look at it. Or just use your finger and point it around like a Ouija board. You're not going to open nothing up. This shit about opening up bad stuff is gone. Gone. Normally what they would have you do is get attacked, and they'd attack you until you learn to stand up in it, and then you can power over it. So you literally mentally in your heart were over the bad stuff, and you can never get out of it. Once this happens, you can never get bothered by it again. So the bad stuff that's always attacking people and schizophrenia and stuff, it's teaching these people to just power through it and just take it until the stuff gives up. And it will give up in your lifetime. That's the thing. It's a spirit that pounds you for who you are, and the spirit will give up in its lifetime. The only thing that sucks is there's really no other way around it. And what the ancients say, this is part of shamanism, this is part of becoming a philosophical person, which philosophy is just a joke. But this is part of what becomes a philosophical person in giving outward to charity itself, basically.
You know, it feels very vulnerable.
Really what we want, we as humans want to teach the government really. We want them as our friends. We want to put our weight in front of them physically as an example. So, and what the government doesn't want, it doesn't want to say it doesn't want, but it realizes that once one individual becomes sufficient psychologically and sufficient emotionally and starts preserving themselves naturally through exercise and diet, that they would start a change because they knew that they were captive of a race on the inside somehow. Some scientific database has the measurements of being captured in humanity by aliens. So we're working with real data, like in the air. I'm gonna ride it and it's gonna come out. But I only have a few more minutes. But this is almost the end of this show. This episode 8. Episode 8, talking about. I'm trying to give you a pattern of where we're at. So if you let me, I can work with you. Reiki, whatever it's called. I mean, what I'm trying to do is teach you how to do it yourself. I'm trying to give you the boundaries to understand what you see in reality. And if you see it correctly, it'll just, it's like a net. The truth and the correctness is like a net of
people are refusing to advertise for us.
I don't want to say disillusion or illusion, because even illusion, there's basically illusion is within the realm of perception, not outside. There is nothing outside the realm of perception. Even in illusion, everything is connected. Everything is connected. And when it connects in the heart, it lets it out. It can't be stopped, you know. And the truth is going to connect like a net.
So there's a movie out there that shows a different perspective.
Psychologically, it's going to help you build a stability of yourself.
Anyway, but you shouldn't be so
that when you see reality,
it's stunning. I want to shift over to the
it will just blend emotionally. You'll like your emotions and your heart connect. Like your heart's not filled. Your heart's not complete. Your mind's being obscured by modulation, and they're harvesting the healing frequency of humanity. You know, that's so we're always kept in illusion of trying to heal, but really there's lessons out there of teachers, great gurus that know how to create sufficiency in the cells for eternal. So there's no machine holding them up ever. They will never be taken out. They can, you know, they could lose an arm and grow it back. They could lose a leg and grow it back. They could, and they would live for 10,000 years being human. These are basically carbon-based, water-fueled electrical signals. A battery. It's like a dense battery, a very, very dense core battery. And we can get it to change. You know, this is where I'm going with 5, but we can. Well, I'm getting at it because lately I've been watching these time travel videos, and in the future they're saying that humanity implants chips into their brain to time travel and to have a great life, so to speak, utopia. I'm going to stand up and I'm going to start getting ready, but I'm going to keep talking. But I've been watching these time travel videos, and we're talking about how we get a flip chip called the One in 2029 to create a utopia, basically. And it's not that humanity can't handle themselves.
Well, thank you, Abby. Your story is compelling.
They just want to be like super people. They just want to be like superhuman.
We also have Matthew West.
But I swear to God, what I've understood is that whatever that chip brings us, we're capable of doing on our own.
From the Trump administration next. And after a year of
through meditation, through exercise, through diet, through doing mental, cognitive, emotional exercises with yourself, with your partner. Like we'll try one right now. This is one I like to play. I just thought of a new one too. I can't wait to try. I'll share it with you guys. So when I get a girlfriend, they're gonna set me up with a girl. I'm terrible trying to meditate or something. I don't know. But just kidding. But when I get a girlfriend, when I kiss her, I'm gonna put Kool-Aid, like powdered Kool-Aid on my lips, and see if she can taste it. You know, we need to practice. This is how we practice. This is how we practice. When we're laying in bed with our partner, I'm taking honey and dripping it on her bag. You know, just this kind of honey right there. I got a jar of honey right there. You know, see if she can feel it. Or I'm dropping paint on her bag and seeing if she can close her eyes and see the color, feel the paint. I like to play this one. So I'm gonna hold up an object in my hand. And put it in the comments. Tell me if you understand it. And then after we get 10 comments, I'll do the 11th one. Alright, see? And what we do is we connect the network. We're rebuilding the natural network to the planet, actually, when we play like that. So, we, that's what I mean, the micro aspect of reality plays like that. You know, and we're blocked from it because the modulation from the aliens coming into the reality, trying to harvest humanity and other things. But took the micro away because the modulation of the machine it wouldn't sustain itself in a micro universe. So it keeps everything in a macro standpoint. And even when we're even in this extension stuff, it's a constant expansion. We don't stop expanding. So we get attacked. We get attacked psychologically by a black veil called the void, and then we're expanded completely to keep us from primal agnosing, our safety, and our certainty, and our uncertainty even, and then So these are all attack places. These are all attack rhythms that are happening to everybody on the planet. So these are the rhythms that come out like, hey, I talked to God, and someone's like, yeah, I do too. But one person's there psychologically in their mind, in the same place everything else is at the same time. The other person's on the inside staring at them, not knowing anything, going, oh yeah, I do too. You know, really, there's a compression field that we don't study, because if the compression field was in place, this modulator and this machine of the agenda of harvesting the aliens, and I don't mean humanly, I mean empirically. I mean literally what they're doing is reading our bioidentity, pulling a unity signature from all humanity. So as they read every human on the planet's bioidentity, energy, there's a unity signal going on in the whole race. So the alien agenda is reading humanity this deeply every day. They're watching every human's bioidentity, reading a unity signature in every human, grabbing it and calling that God. That's Christianity. Okay. But don't be fearful. Don't be fearful. This Christianity actually reaches into a place deeper than aliens. So there's a forefront on the front of this signature. It says it's safe, it's relevant, it's going to help build the heart frequency, and we're going to put it in play right now. So what that means is, so we're going to draw it up real quick. We're going to draw it up. I'll draw it up. So there's me, and then I reach in, so out of my will I reach in, grab this part, it comes out with that, leaves the whole story behind and everybody responsible for their part, and then has itself right here again. So this is the pattern that I just grabbed. Okay. And we're going to grab it again. See, the idea is when you find these, you want to grab them as often as possible. I know that might not make sense, but I felt like I should draw it up. I'm gonna let go because it's just confusing. It's just confusing.
Absolutely. Right now, you see
Alright, but this is where we're at, and really, see, I didn't mean to scare everybody there, but that's kind of what's going on. You know, it's been doing it its whole life. I'm trying to get it to stop, but something said that I can't, so I mapped it out. And obviously I mapped it out. I carry it within me, I carry it in my heart, I carry it in my cells, I turn my whole body into a battery, a filing cabinet essentially. I can store tons of data on my DNA. I choose not to, I volunteer myself not to give in to these. I'm only here to protect this place, dude. And I'm not kidding, all these barriers exist, even in your use. You can use them right now, man. I'm not claiming these barriers. These are part of heart. We all have heart. And I'll give you a little. So,
I'd like to announce, I got heels, and I did not take any practice shots, unlike these guys.
Alright, I gotta go, guys. For real though, we're out. See ya. Love ya.
She wants me to switch, you want me to switch these?
We're gonna try another one? So the first one, I don't want to say it. So we're gonna, hands open, charity. Stability.
I have heels on, so. Okay, so I can't swing a baseball.
Cool, love you guys. Peace out.